Welcome to the show.
Welcome back to All Sorts of Sports.
All sorts of sports.
All sorts of sports.
Episode I don't know.
82. Here's the thing. We really, when you say all sorts of sports for your ass, we could have just gone with ASS. We didn't need the of because we could have just left that out. We could have been the ass podcast.
Y'all fucked that up.
I know. I realized that I missed an opportunity.
No, we'll blame Mauricio.
When I came to this podcast, y'all had nothing but a shitty name, and we made it work.
Hey,
we had microphones.
$1 in a dream.
You have microphones. I remember walking in, I was so nervous. My girlfriend at the time had to convince me that it was a good idea. I was like, I'm worried about the chemistry. She's like, they need you. I was like, you're right, they do. And I showed up.
And then 3 years later, here we are.
I'm joking. That was Mauricio's pitch. Dude, we need you.
It was like one fucking episode, but
so your girlfriend.
I'm glad you.
They did make out in the elevator once.
So let's get into a couple some of the big news of this week, and then
it's the special edition of ASOS. Yeah. Get excited, guys! Boom, boom, boom. I was gonna rock this, but I didn't know if it was politically correct or not, so I was like,
it's not. But you showed it, so
yeah, it's whatever. But in no way, I mean, shit. I looked at the average view count right about now. People are logging off this bitch, so we're good.
Actually, no.
No, you're right. You're right. We're getting more.
Yeah, they're still here.
Special episode. Do you see, guys have seen enough soccer shit? It's the real football episode, baby. NFL season's upon us.
Technically, no, but
and we got college football too. Oh, so
college football. Oh shit, I got to prep for this.
We'll start with high school right now. All right, so Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah.
Even the name is funny.
Like,
they really thought they were trying something with that.
You put Bishop in front of it, it sounds like a charter school, and they're like, fuck yeah, we want them. They love Jesus.
It should have been like a tree.
It should have been Archbishop Sycamore.
But isn't Sycamore a tree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a chess piece in a tree. Cool.
Or like a holy man in a tree, a holy tree.
Holy man.
Yeah.
Namesake chess piece. Is that the logo?
Well, the chess piece is also named after the holy man. I don't want anybody here to get that twisted.
That's accurate. That is
like
the
the knight on the chess piece it's not separate from knights. I don't know which came first though, so you might have a point.
Yeah. Who knows? All right. So
sidebar, The Great Knight, great movie. Check it out.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Sorry.
All right. Bishop Sycamore tricked the world, including ESPN, and played a game against the IMG Academy. And it was essentially JUCO dropouts playing against like one of the best high schools in the nation.
And they got fucking waxed.
And what was it? I forgot what number he was. Number 54, maybe?
Oh, the 36
yeah, the dude towards ACL.
Yeah. How the fuck are you? What, 36? Tear your ACL.
36.
It wasn't 36. That's just a joke.
Well,
I mean,
that's nuts.
Man, how many? First off, let's start with the top.
All right, you know what? Fuck that. Hey, let's create a high school and let's play.
I'll pass.
I'm out.
What would your high school name be?
Knights of the Round Table.
Knights of the Vale.
I gotta think about that.
Charter school.
We could go to Washington football team route and just go high school football team.
Our mascot will be an invisible Hyundai.
Dude, all right. So the best part, well, the story gets a little dark, but the best part is the head coach got warrants for fraud already. Then he's like, they ain't gonna catch me. I'll just go live on ESPN and I'll trick all these underprivileged kids to come play with me by telling them that this is all real. But it's kind of like a Ponzi scheme where if you work hard enough, you just might make $1. And man, to
me, though, like I still haven't deep dived on it. It was trending entirely too much around the Barstool crowd that I decided to skip it. But if I see too many Barstool people, I just skip something. But it seems to me like you remember being on the Metro or something, and dudes would walk around and say we need money for football jerseys shit. It seems like he just took it too far. Like it started there, and all of a sudden, before he knew it, he was like, I guess we got a football team. Like, he's on the train, sir. We need money. You know what? I think this is a good cause. I'm gonna get you guys equipment. Hey, be there Sunday morning at 9 a.m. I'm gonna buy you guys equipment. And it's like
I just think it's like all the dudes that peaked in high school that played on like their high school football team just said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it again. Let's run it back.
I mean, if you're
but they promised them like money and opportunity and stuff. And then these kids were like having
sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, they were sleeping on the floor. They were having to rob like grocery stores to eat.
Yeah.
Like what I think happened to the coach is it's like kind of like the dog that chases the car. Once you catch it, you're like, what am I supposed to do now? And instead, he went into the car and started driving.
Yep.
Wild.
I just want to add that the coach's like pregame speech was amazing. I don't know if y'all heard it.
Yeah,
it was fucking great. I just laughed. It sounds like something where you go out there and kick some ass to, but obviously they did.
Kicked.
But it was a great speech.
I want a compilation of that. I need a compilation of coach inspirational speeches in which the team then goes out there and gets their ass kicked.
Oh, yeah. That would be great.
I want a compilation of that.
That would be great.
Hey, somebody can do like that Al Pacino on Any Given Sunday on, like you're feeling it.
Or Tim Tebow. Yeah, but all right. So, anything else on that? Because we do got some more shit to get to.
No, it was wonderful.
That 30 for 30 is going to be crazy, though.
There's a cricket in here with me.
I couldn't hear it. But
I heard it.
Everybody knows.
Did you? I'm hearing something like, I hear it more with the headphones on than without them.
I heard it. I just heard it.
No, Game.
No, I'm dead ass. Like,
it's loud. I feel like it's really close to me.
It sounds like it's a mic issue. It sounds like it's a mic issue.
No, it's a cricket.
It's probably me. Yeah, they're all outside. So,
I just heard. Yeah, I heard it. See, yeah. I'm not that high.
It's me.
Yeah, it's definitely in here with me.
Yeah, they're here. All right, so
they're coming for me.
I kill all crickets with my Red Ryder BB gun down here. I don't know why. I just find it fun.
Okay,
I support you in that.
All right, so we talked about Bishop Sycamore. Now we can talk about their starting quarterback starting next year. Cam Newton.
Is it Cam Newton? I like it.
That's cold.
That's Cam Newton's going to the Texans.
Accurate statement because you said next year he'll be the quarterback this year.
Y'all just being mean for no reason.
No. But for real, Cam Newton's probably going to the Texans.
I mean, all right. Let's start off with, I think, happened.
Let's start off with Cam Newton got released
by the Patriots.
Yeah.
I think that in my mind, what happened is Coach Belichick was like, look, bro, you're not going to be the starter. You're getting up there in age. I know you want to have a starting position. I'm going with Mac 10. Fucking brilliant. I'm going with Mac.
Technically, no.
And you're not going to be the starter, so I'm going to release you so that you
calling no white dude a gun.
can go play somewhere and have a chance at being a starter. And so that's what I feel like happened. It was probably mutual. Like, Bill doesn't fuck around. He's like, it's not going to be you, but I don't want you to be sitting here, not fulfilling, what you want to be doing. So
when it first got released, that was it was either my first or second text because I had a lot of opinions on it when it first came out. I just think that if you're in that sort of situation, there is a little bit of Bill doing Cam a favor, just like, hey, go try to figure something out. But there's also the Mac Jones thing, which is that you also got Brian Hoyer on that roster. We know he's a competent backup, especially in that offense.
I think he got cut too.
Did he? No, I think he's still around.
A lot of players got cut and then brought back
and then get brought back in.
But I'm saying, I swear that he got cut at the same time.
Well, regardless, there is this other element, even if it's not Brian Hoyer, that the last thing you want for a young quarterback like that, if you're going to trot him out that early, is somebody necessarily breathing down his neck. And yeah, you're right. It looks like he's out. They got Jarrett Stidham, also a dude that's okay, be a backup.
Yeah,
and a dude that knows that offense.
Right. The idea that you're going to have a Mac Jones there, and if he's the guy, and I've said it when he got drafted, I did say that Mac Jones will win multiple Super Bowls. I'm putting that down there. He's going to win multiple Super Bowls. Okay. I understand if you disagree. It's way too early to make that kind of. I just think I like this cat, and I think that he's going to work well with Josh McDaniels. But I think that what you also don't want is it's not just anybody being the backup. It's Cam Newton, and a guy who wants to be a starter. And if you got the fans in Boston who are so used to winning after these years, being able to have to boo Mac Jones or, hey, we want to see Cam, that'll fuck his confidence all the way up. If you're going to go with the young guy, you got to start the young guy and keep the young guy. I disagree with it. Fundamentally, I think you're supposed to get the guy to sit, especially when you have a Cam. I thought it was a perfect bridge situation. But I also think what doesn't help is the rumor, which I think there is some water with it. He's unvaxxed, potentially.
Yeah. All right, so let me add my part. All right, so number one, Cam is unvaxxed just based on the amount of time he had to sit out. So you remember there's different rules for vaxxed and unvaxxed players. So based on the amount of time he had to sit out, it shows that he was unvaccinated. All right, so I feel like Bill is looking at this logically. I feel like he's the most logically sound mind head coach in the league. Like he looks everything with logic. Having an unvaxxed QB is going to hurt you. It has a better chance of fucking up your team during the season if your QB is unvaxxed. Now
anybody
maybe if Cam was vaxxed, I feel like he would still be starting to give Mac Jones some more time. Well, I don't think Mac Jones is that much better than Cam Newton.
I think after the preseason, we could say that Mac Jones was trending upward. Cam Newton was not necessarily doing that. And you're talking to someone.
He missed a bunch of time.
There was nobody that was a bigger Cam Newton apologist than your boy right here throughout on the ASOS episodes this last year, right? Mm-hmm. I was so stoked that he got there. But there's I wanted to chalk up last year to not having a training camp. This preseason, I was hoping Cam was going to come out here on fire. He wasn't. I do know that offense has a lot of holes in it, especially N'Keal Harry's okay, whatever. Nelson Aguilar was the last time he was relevant, and
last year.
Nah. And beyond, I'm sorry, he's okay. That's fair. He just kind of goes over my head. I don't necessarily pay attention.
The best thing he's known for is the dude catching a baby and saying
48 receptions, 896 yards, 8 touchdowns on. Yeah. I'm okay. All right. But it's whatever. If you're a starter, that's bottom, that's 29th in yards. Whatever. I mean, they got tight ends, but I'd expect Cam to do more with the talent that they do have around. I thought he was going to come out lights out. I like the way Mac Jones looks. He looks like he has confidence. Row with him and go yonder. I mean, I just have faith in Bill Belichick still. I'm not one to write him off.
So, Keem, do you have anything you want to add about Cam?
I thought that I agree with you with I thought it was a perfect bridge situation. And so I thought he'd start, finish out the season, he build up his value, and then he'd go somewhere, they hand it off to Mac Jones. So I was surprised this happened. I think it's a combination of things. I don't think it's just the vaccination. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's Mac Jones played terrifically in that last preseason game. And also he had more time to prepare because Cam was out. And, maybe they saw Mac and they were like, oh, he's a little bit more better than we thought he would be. And so now it's okay, well, maybe we can get rid of Cam. And I mean, there was enough there for them to be okay, we can just.
It's the risk reward.
Yeah.
Having Cam on your team or any unvaccinated player is a bigger risk than normal.
All they would have done, I think, in terms of the vaccination is put Mac on the emergency quarterback instead of the actual backup, because if somebody gets sick in the quarterback room, you have to immediately quarantine everybody and go to your emergency backup who's 2 counties over, throwing balls at the wall.
Right. So. And you don't want that for your rookie QB. All right.
It might be Brian Hoyer. I will say this, Cam Newton, he didn't get signed until June last year after getting cut in March. And I don't think his value's gone up. I don't think his value's gone up. That's all I'm saying, is that he's probably going to be sitting here for a while without a job.
And I don't think that's necessarily right either, because I mean, we saw last year was the bigger year that it was such a disappointment, because that was when Foles got traded and fucking all these fucking cast off quarterbacks who weren't as good as Cam were okay, well, let's come over yonder and play for us, and Cam's right there.
Yeah. But it was good for the Patriots to do this now rather than what the Panthers did to Cam last year or the year before, where they had him waiting forever. That was the big issue. The Panthers waited so long to cut Cam Newton.
They cut him in March.
Yeah, they cut him in March.
But wasn't that after all of the other QBs signed? They held on to
we're
him.
talking about a month after the Super Bowl. It wasn't terrible. I think last year, just because of what happened with COVID, everything was truncated.
We talked about how pissed off we were that the Panthers held on to Cam for so long.
No, I understand what you're saying. They could have done it earlier. I'm just looking back with what happened with COVID and everything. I don't think it was as egregious as maybe we even thought back then. Hindsight's 2020.
All right, so we talked about Bill Belichick possibly making the decision based on Cam's vaccination status, which we all understand that was a part of it. Like how much of a deal, we don't know. But
yeah, because Bill said it's not any part of it. But.
Right.
But he's not allowed to say that.
Bill also said other things about the vaccination, which I'll get into. Did anybody else read that, or is it just me? Okay, so
I saw some of it.
Yeah. So
Brendan tried to call me and tell me about it, and I hung up the phone.
All right. So not only do I want to talk about Bill, but I also want to get you guys' opinion on Urban Meyer and what he said and how now the NFLPA is investigating the Jaguars for quote unquote looking at players and cutting them based on their vaccination status.
Which you're not allowed to do.
Yeah, and they are currently in the top
rule.
5. It everybody knows that teams are doing it, but it's just the fact that they're in the top 5 of people that are unvaccinated. And then he says this, doesn't make any sense. But what do you guys thought? So what did you think of when you saw it?
The rule is stupid. The rule is dumb. The rule is dumb as shit. You should be able to cut a player because they're unvaxxed. That should be one of the factors you can have in order whether or not you're going to keep or not keep a player. And we also know that it's not all equal. If you're a 6-string wide receiver compared to a starting quarterback, yeah, we're not going to look at your vaccination status the same way. Kirk Cousins versus Cole Beasley. You're going to look at that differently. Let's just be real about this shit, right? You saw what Bill Belichick was doing. He kept it moving through that press conference, right? But that's Bill. He knows I'm not going to hurt the team. Urban's just being an idiot as far as hurting the team with saying this bullshit, but everybody knows the rule itself is stupid.
Yep. All right. So I want to go back to what Bill Belichick said. That's kind of gotten people all in a frenzy. All right. So Bill Belichick was discussing the COVID-19 vaccine, right? In the press conference. And he said the following: I would just point out that I don't know what the number is, but the number of players, coaches, and staff members that have been affected by COVID in this training camp who have been vaccinated is a pretty high number. So I wouldn't lose sight of that. Your implication that a vaccine solves every problem has not been substantiated based on what's happened in training camp this year.
I think that you could take that message to mean two things.
Mm-hmm.
Either you can go the way where it's oh, okay, yeah, even if you're vaccinated, it's a problem. Or you could take it as somebody who is unvaccinated is allowing us, the people who are still vaccinated, people who aren't vaccinated are affecting our COVID number percentage.
But here's the thing. I think so. Bill doesn't talk about shit unless it's football related.
Yep.
Almost ever. So my assumption is what he's saying is I think a lot of people are taking this in a global context, which is real stupid because Bill doesn't care about anything outside the Patriots right now. I think what he's saying is from a business standpoint, from my business, which is the Patriots, what I'm seeing is that if a player is vaccinated and comes across someone who has COVID, they're all, even if they're vaccinated, they're still going and having to quarantine, right? And he's saying, for the purposes of my preseason, I have noticed that it is the numbers of vaccinated players versus unvaccinated players who I've lost training time with because of COVID. It's looking a little equal. And that's what he's saying. I think a lot of people are like, he's an anti-vaxxer. He doesn't care about the vaccine. You're an idiot. What he's talking about is what's going on in his life right now, because I'm pretty sure Bill Belichick hasn't turned on the TV since training camp started.
All right, get up.
Nothing he said was not factual. Everything he said was factual. And I think people are reading into it more than they need to. Yeah, even if you're vaccinated and you come into contact, you're out. And that affects the football team. And right now, the way that the rules and everything are with these vax and unvax people, not to mention the boosters and everything that are coming out, a lot of people that are vaxxed are coming down and testing positive for COVID. It's still affecting the football team. And there needs to be something that gets addressed. If maybe the number of vaccinated players goes up, then maybe they can relook at the way that they're handling that protocol. But as of right now, with the way the status quo, the way it's rocking, yeah, it affects them. It's nothing more than that.
All right. So let's switch gears and talk about Urban Meyer a little bit. So we all know that the NFLPA is investigating the Jaguars. Do you guys care about that at all? No. Or do you think anything will come of it?
No, I mean it's like the old police defense. Why'd you pull him over? Well, his registration was expired. Nah, his registration was expired, but that's not why you pulled him over. So they'll just be like, oh, that guy caught one pass out of the 42 that we threw him this preseason. So that's why we cut him.
All right. So let's get into the big chunk.
The old smoke and mirrors.
Let's get into the big chunk of this podcast, which is our NFL season preview. All right. So
I wish we had some horns right here, like some really like regal horns welcoming back the beginning of football season. Man, I'm stoked because the rest of my sports team suck.
K-Dot's not putting no damn horns there. All right. All right, well, you got your horns.
This song sucks. It's called Regal Horns.
All right, let me ask you this question.
It's got 107 views and 1 like.
Well, it's got 2 likes now. Shout out Regal Horns.
I'm liking it. Christopher Snell, good job on the Regal Horns, sir.
I mean, can we actually play that? They're going to like copyright our shit.
If anyone knows that thing exists, that's a fucking...
That's regal as shit, bro. Cheers.
All right. Wow. All right. So
thank you out.
You can't see
I drink my fine American beverage.
Can you see can you see the football in my glass?
Okay. Here we go. Are you guys done?
Let's go.
All right. So we're going to talk about a couple things. So we're going to go through our surprise team, the disappointing team, our season awards, which is going to be the MVP, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, comeback player of the year, and coach of the year. We're going to go through our playoff picks, our Super Bowl picks, and the divisional records or the records for each team.
I
have the records for each team. Yeah, I have the records for each team.
I didn't do that.
Okay, fine. All right, fine.
I feel like you went too far on other things, and some things we don't necessarily. I feel like maybe we need to have production meetings.
Well, maybe so, because everything you guys said that you wanted to do, I've done, and then I just went further.
Cool. We're just gonna have you like slow roll some of that. So, like the surprising team and the disappointing team. How we said that for the end. Let's do the division stuff. Let's go division by division. If you have the record for all of them, I think you should lead off each division.
I agree, because that is
like we'll go through our division winners, which I think everybody else did.
Because I'm stressed.
I know.
Don't fucking push me today. I'm dead.
I'm stressing.
All right.
Don't push James because he's close to the edge.
Keep poking the fucking bear. All right.
What happened?
So do we want to start the NFC or the AFC?
Since none of y'all fuckers did anything, I'm gonna start with it. All right.
What are you talking about? Did anything?
Shut the fuck up.
Division winners.
The AFC. The AFC.
This motherfucker's doing math. Did you go through every schedule?
Shut the fuck up. Stop. AFC. I'm gonna start off with the AFC North.
All right.
I got the Ravens in first, going 12-5. The Steelers second, going 11-6. Okay. The Browns third, going 9-8. The Bengals fourth, going 3-14.
Ooh, shit! That's disrespectful. They better than that.
Yeah, that was rough on the Bengals.
No, that was rough.
No, they should have drafted a tackle.
Also, they win 3 games.
Didn't they? They did draft a tackle, didn't they?
They got the receiver.
But they got a tackle top of the second.
Right.
Well, they should have got what, Sewell?
Yeah, they should have got Sewell.
Yeah, they should have got him. They didn't.
I agree with
the receiver that's
Jamar?
currently in trouble.
Jamar's he's been terrible.
Jamar Chase,
yeah. He's been terrible in the preseason.
But
even
did you see all the other shit that's out about him right now?
I forgot about that, and that is a thing. Yeah.
That's probably why he's dropping fast.
I still always like the idea of partnering a college quarterback with a college wide receiver.
I like it too. I just don't think. I think the better receiver would be T. Higgins.
Right. Yep,
probably.
Yeah, start with that. All right. So who wants to go next?
Wins. God damn.
Go ahead, K-Dot.
Which division was this?
AFC North.
AFC North.
AFC North. Since I didn't go by record, I chose.
You got winning.
Geez, don't interrupt me, fucker. All right.
Bitch, you just did that. All right. Just go.
Yeah, I need to stop playing with James, man.
Just go.
It's going to happen.
Just go. Just go.
I have the Browns winning the AFC North. I think later we'll get into who our wild card picks might be. So you'll hear from someone else in that division for me. But I think the Browns overall, just the way that what they're doing on offense as far as that running back core, I'm still a huge Baker Mayfield fan. That wide receiver core itself too is just otherworldly. It's just kind of putting it all together at any point in time. The tight ends have been a bit of a disappointment, like Njoku and some other things, but there's enough talent on that fucking offense as long as the offensive line is doing stuff. And that defense, scary. Myles Garrett, fucking scary. They have a lot of talent on that team. And you'll hear me talk about the Browns a little bit more as we go on. I think the Ravens are another really interesting pick in that division. As far as who's going to be there at the bottom of it, I think you're still looking at Cincinnati, but I think they win more than 3 games. I think that this is the year for Pittsburgh. That's going to be one of those years where they miss the playoffs. And with that is the end of the Ben Roethlisberger era, maybe the beginning of the Dwayne Haskins era, or at least them looking for something new.
Okay. Who's next?
I'll go next. I also think the Browns are going to win that division, but it's going to be neck and neck between them and the Ravens, I think, pretty much the whole year. I think the Bengals have a chance to be better than the Steelers. I think they have the most accurate quarterback maybe in the league in Joe Burrow. We didn't get to see a whole lot of them. Their receiving core is pretty good. They're lacking on defense a little bit, but man, the Steelers were just the biggest fluke team last year. And once they fell apart, the wheels fully came off. And I don't think they did much or enough for them to get back on track. They got Big Ben, but I don't know. I think
weren't they rocking with like Mason Rudolph?
I think the Steelers are going to struggle throughout the year. So I think it's the Browns, but the Ravens are going to be right there because they're super talented. Although they did just lose J.K. Dobbins in a preseason game, which was
yeah, they got options though. Ain't Todd Gurley out there?
Was it Gus?
They don't need him.
It's going to be Gus. It's the Gus show.
I'm saying Todd Gurley's out there.
It's the Gus show, but missing J.K. is a disappointment.
Yeah.
He was going to play
especially in the preseason game.
J.K.
I would rather them sign Le'Veon and sign Todd Gurley. I don't want my running back to have knee arthritis.
Go ahead, King.
Simple AFC North. Obviously, Ravens are my favorite team. I think the Browns win the division pretty easily this year. I see them like 13-4, 14-3, something around that. I expect Baltimore to struggle. I think they might get upset first week, and then they'll go 0-2 after losing to KC. And then like kind of start picking up as they start to get healthy. They got like 5 wide receivers now. Ronnie Stanley isn't back into form yet. It's one of those seasons where they will probably come on later as opposed to early. And so hopefully make a deep playoff run, but maybe we'll see. So I got Browns winning that division easily. I think they'll have defense. I'll get into that part later. They'll have one of the best defenses in the league. Then you got Ravens and Steelers and Bengals.
Okay. All right. Hopefully you guys lose first week, but then win the second week. So you don't go 0-2, you go 1-1. All right.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah. Me too, man.
I want a unicorn.
Why the fuck you want a unicorn?
Ain't nobody else got one.
All right. Let's move on to the AFC South. All right. So I'll go first. K-Dot, Ryan, and King. All right. So I have the Titans winning at 11-6. Then the Colts at 10-7, the Jags at 6-11, and the Texans at 2-15. So Texans going to be trash. It just is what it is. So go ahead, K-Dot. Who you got?
I got the Titans. I just think Ryan Tannehill is probably the most underrated quarterback in the league.
And they got like a really good wide receiver right now.
They added Julio Jones to already a really dynamic wide receiving core. And Yeah, I think that is a team that's always trending upward, and I always like, as long as you got Mike Vrabel coaching a team, I will always be a fan of what that defense is going to do. You know they're going to play aggressively.
And your favorite players on the team?
Who's my favorite player, James?
Derrick Henry.
He's not my favorite player, but I get where you're going. He looks like a man amongst children most of the time, and I don't think that's necessarily going to change. So I think that what they're doing on offense. Tennessee. After Tennessee, I think the Colts, even though I don't know what the fuck is going on with that team right now, because what Carson Wentz
None. They're all back.
They're all back?
They're all projected to start week 1. So
Got it. So it's a countdown until Carson Wentz gets hurt again. So once again, I'm going to still keep at that. I doubt they're going to have Carson Wentz for the entire year. And the Colts to me have been that team that we've all been waiting for to take the next step. And it doesn't feel like they're ever there to take the next step and pass the stop talking over me. I'm joking.
Isn't that the Andrew Luck effect though?
Kind of, but I mean, every time I get excited every time I see an Andrew Luck article that teases that he might be coming back, because I think that's the only thing that gets Indianapolis into the dance. So I think just by default, I'll put, I'll take that back. We're gonna go we got Titans winning. I think second in the division. I think they're all gonna suck. I think Colts, Jags, and Texans are just gonna suck. I think the Jags. I already said Trevor Lawrence is busting. I don't think Urban Meyer knows what he's doing. I'm just gonna keep that same energy. Outside of that, the Colts. I maybe Carson Wentz plays lights out. I doubt it. So I guess by default I have them second. Third, I'll go Jacksonville, and then Houston is a shit show.
Okay. Jonathan Taylor's still on that team too, by the way.
And somebody I'm very singling in on my fantasy football options.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for telling us. Our draft is coming up soon, next week. All right.
Doesn't have any impact. I can tell you everyone I'm going to draft, you're still not beating me.
Okay. You can make a side bet.
But how about we find an even number of players for the league?
We have an even number of players for the league. Check the app.
I just finished like my 4th draft this week. It's just brutal.
I got 5 on the same day next week. Go ahead, Ryan.
Why?
Obviously,
when is our draft?
Tuesday.
Me and James both thought it was yesterday.
No, you did.
You did too, fucker.
No, because you're like, our draft is tomorrow, and I'm like working, so I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like, I'll send out a note or some shit, and I look, I'm like, nigga, the draft is next week.
Yeah, my schedule.
All right, go ahead, Ryan.
I got Tennessee winning the division easily. It's a toss-up between who's second worst. T-Law looked good against second string, but all you need is confidence, and he's got the arm to do it. I don't know if he's got the players around him to win, but I definitely know that the Colts, I don't even know who's going to be playing quarterback at the end of the year. Side note, ex-Colts quarterback Art Schlichter, who is in jail for 20 years, he just got out. He's 61. If they need a quarterback, he probably needs some money. So he's available. He had a hell of an arm. I think he went to OSU.
What is he in jail for?
He had a gambling addiction, and then he started robbing people and taking drugs, and you know how it goes.
Heard he started his own high school football team.
Yeah, no, that was going to be his other gig. That's why they paroled him. But yeah, the Texans are a fucking dumpster fire, which is weird to be saying that, like, probably 12 months after I thought they could possibly be one of the best teams in football. So what a far fall for them. So, but yeah, no, I hope the Jags do good, because that's good it's good for us. More shit to talk about.
Okay. All right, Keem.
I got Titans winning that division. They're probably like an 11-win team, maybe 12. And I think they're the only playoff team that comes out. I think the Colts push for it and maybe they sneak in, but I think they finish something like 8-9, 7-10 in that range, maybe even 9-8, but miss the playoffs or whatever.
And we don't even know which Carson Wentz we're getting on that Colts.
There's only one.
No, is it?
No. I mean, like the one that's always hurt.
Yeah, or the one that forgot how to throw, right? Did he relearn?
Look, all you gotta do is just hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. That's it.
That's how you get him killed. Anyway, moving on.
All right, you gotta have some sort of pass.
Let's go to the AFC East, Ryan's division. All right, so I have the Bills going 12-5, and then I have the Dolphins at 11-6. I have the Pats at 9-8, and then I have the Jets at 5-12.
That's probably too much credits for the Jet, but
Hey, look,
Zach Wilson's the second coming.
Zach Wilson might be all right.
Of Geno Smith.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. All right. So, yeah, the Bills are the Bills. Like, it's their division.
Yeah. Has been like this since the 90s for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be dope.
And Josh Allen is the oldest quarterback in that division.
And also the best. Go ahead, K-Dot.
Well, I got the Jets winning this. No, I'm joking. I got the Bills, of course, winning this division. I think it's the Bills' season really to take it to the next level. Maybe a little precursor for something to come later. Next up, I actually think the Patriots over the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to regret letting Fitzy walk away. I think that Tua might have some growing pains, and there might be some issues with that team going forward. Plus, as a Miami team, I never really trusted. This is the division full of teams I just historically fail to trust, other than one of them being New England. Miami, I just don't have a whole lot of faith in, but nobody, I find hard pressed to look around the league unless Zach Wilson is just, I mean, everybody knows the arm strength is there, but unless he is the second coming of the Messiah, they're going to suck. I think they are in the running for having the worst team in the league. That offensive line is going to get that man killed.
Butt fumble 3.0. Is it me? Bills are going to win the division.
Yep.
I'm a Bills fan, but that being said, looking across the division, there's only one team that's coming back with a powerhouse team, and it's the Bills. I'm going to go with, I don't trust in Tua. So I'm going to say the Patriots, just because I think they have an elite head coach in Bill Belichick, and I think he can pull a rabbit out of a hat isn't the right saying, but you know what I'm saying. He's going to make some magic shit happen. They're not going to be a great
right saying, but
they're not going to be a great. Yeah, it is right saying. I'm very, very tired. I don't. I think the Patriots are better set up to do okay than the Dolphins are set up to do okay, right? And then I like Zach Wilson. Like, he is a solid, well put together athlete. But I agree with K-Dot. We may be at his funeral like week 8. Like, it's going to be tough for them to keep him in all season if he is going to be their quarterback of the future, if they don't want him dead. So, well, who knows? Maybe that arm strength, you get the ball out in 0.2 seconds and throw it down the field.
Just throw it as far in the air as possible. Just everything's a 50-50 ball.
Yeah.
Keep yourself alive.
I have the Bills winning as well. I think I could see them winning 11 or 12 games. I think this is the Josh Allen regression year where they maybe don't look as good, but they're more than talented enough to win the games that they need to win. I can see the New England picks, guys, for like that dark horse team that, like, low expectations. But Stephon Gilmore is out 6 weeks, and this could be one of those patchwork 10 and 7 years, and like Bill Belichick sneaks in. I can definitely see that, but I'm going with the Dolphins. I think Brian Flores is a great coach. I think like he's elevated them every year, and I think this is the year they get over the hump and take the Colts place, which is like 7th, and make that little 7th spot in the playoffs, and so win like 10 games and sneak in.
How about the Jets?
The Jets are the Jets. The Jets. They're
a Jet. I'm sorry.
ETS, and they're done. They're done. I mean, I think I like Elijah Moore. Bright future.
Great future.
All right. So let's move on to my division, the AFC West. I have the Chiefs going 12-5. Got the Raiders going 11-6. The Chargers at 9-8, and the Broncos at 6-11. K-Dot, K-Dot, your go.
Chiefs win the division.
Yeah.
Next up, I have the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say anything mean, I promise.
I would like to inform you guys that I think we were in second place the past few years. So It's not like that out of the ordinary.
I don't need a refresher. I'm good.
Yeah, you kind of do. I feel like you do. Based on your reaction, I feel like you do.
Here's what I said. I literally said I wasn't going to talk any smash. He's still trying to defend himself. I haven't said shit. I haven't said shit.
I want you to. I want you to say your exact
I'm not. I'm literally just going through my picks. Let me go through them. I'm not in my feelings.
My bad. Go ahead.
I'm not.
Go ahead.
I have the Chargers second.
Mm-hmm.
I have No, I'm joking. I have Oakland, Vegas, whatever they're called, third. And then I have Denver finishing out. I like Teddy Bridgewater. I want Teddy Bridgewater to win games.
You also wanted Cam Newton to win games.
Yeah, that's true. He might have to
stop wanting
Bridgewater
people to win games.
Bridgewater is going to be that journeyman quarterback that is decent. And I hate that he's not going to find home or somewhere that he can be the guy for a long period of time. But I don't know. There's some things on that Denver team that on offense, I mean, they could make some moves. I would not be completely surprised if I think Denver has a between last place and second place, and I wouldn't be completely blown away. I really do think what they have with Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, they could do some things.
Is my dark horse fantasy.
Thanks for telling me that. Okay.
I don't think Denver's completely I don't think they're shit. I actually look at this division. I don't think any of the teams are shit.
Yeah, I'm feel the same. All right, Ryan.
I think the Chiefs win the division.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be touch and go between the Raiders and the Chargers. I think it'll come down to the Raiders and Chargers games, because if you look at the Chargers schedules, they have some what I would consider easy games. I mean, they play Washington first week, and then they have the 2 games against the Chiefs, and I think you just always chalk those up as losses unless you get lucky, right? They're going to lose a couple.
In the division, it's different.
But you get like I'm saying, you get lucky against the Chiefs, right? They make mistakes, and then that's how you win. But they got Patriots, Eagles, Broncos, Bengals, Giants, like all teams that I don't think are very good.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it comes down to the Raiders and Chargers games where they play each other as to who comes in second. And then look, the Broncos, they have some pieces, but man, are they like 6 cards shy of a full deck right now. So they got some work to do. I think Teddy Bridgewater is better than what is it, Drew Lock?
Yep. Drew Lock.
But still, like, you're not neither of those names. You're like, ooh, really hate to go up against that guy this week. So it's gonna be tough for them. So I mean, this is a good division, right? It's a good division.
You just said
I said they're not bad.
Okay. I mean, no, it's
there's a difference.
Okay.
Except for the Broncos, there's 2 playoff teams in that division.
I don't think there's one good division in football right now. But I think there's probably one. Maybe I can make a case for 2. I think for the most part, everybody. You know what? Yeah, AFC. Yeah. All right. So whatever. There's one more name in Denver that I didn't want to make. I think he's better than that last year in Pittsburgh. Is James Conner. I actually think that he.
I don't.
I understand what people are saying. I think that last year in Pittsburgh is not necessarily everything you're going to get from that guy.
Wait, who do you think he plays for?
Oh no, doesn't he? He plays for Arizona.
Yeah.
Never mind. Fuck that. Sorry.
Okay. And I was like,
yeah, it was Arizona. Yeah, my bad.
Like Melvin Gordon's in Denver.
Melvin Gordon. No, Melvin Gordon is not that great. Never mind. Maybe Denver's not as good as I think.
Yeah, I mean, Von Miller's coming back, but we'll talk about that later. Go ahead, Keem.
All right. Kansas City wins that division. 11-12 games. Oakland, Vegas comes in second, and they make the playoffs. I agree. I think this is one of the most 8-8 divisions after the Chiefs. It's like a bunch of like average teams where you're anywhere from that 6-win range to 10-win range. You're like, you could just be where you settle and be average and be 8-8. And so I think to K-Dot's
this year, 8-9.
Yeah, 8-9. You could be like, I think to K-Dot's point, it's like, it's not necessarily a good division. It's like, they have top tier, and then everybody else is average to slightly above average. And so, yeah. And I think third, Broncos, and then I think fourth, Chargers, surprisingly.
Is that based on Herbert having a bad year?
It's the Herbert year, regression here.
A little bit more game tape. Just a little bit more game tape on him. And, quarterbacks rarely turn in like just stupendous years back to back. So he'll back off that great year a little bit. But they'll be helped defensively because Derwin James is back. So I mean, again, they'll be 8-9, 9-8, something like that.
All right. So Melvin Ingram's not on that team anymore. But I do want to note that I believe that the Chargers picked up somebody that was with the Saints, and they plan on using Austin Eckler as they do Alvin Kamara. So I want to add that in there.
I like
All
Eckler.
Right, let's move on to
I like Eckler.
Yeah, me too. Let's move on to the NFC North.
I was gonna say comedians hate him, but I'm just gonna let that go.
All right. The NFC North. I know. I have the Packers at 12-5. We're just gonna move on. The Packers at 12-5. The Packers at 12-5. I have the Vikings at 8-9, the Bears at 7-10, and the Lions at 3-14. Yeah. So looking at it, I mean, I feel like who's the Bears rookie QB?
Justin Fields.
Yeah, I feel like he'll come on midway through the year. The Vikings have Kirk Cousins, so losing season.
I mean, is he gonna play? Nobody knows.
Yes, I mean, like I can see him missing a game or two, but and the Packers are the last dance right now. So, K-Dot, your go.
Packers win the division. Aaron Rodgers is there. He's got his boy Randall Cobb, so he's unstoppable. Sorry, couldn't resist. Next up, after Green Bay, I actually have the Chicago Bears. I think Andy Dalton is not as bad as people think he is, but I still think Justin Fields will probably take the field fairly early on in the season. And I love Fields. Fields is probably my favorite of the rookie quarterbacks this year. I think that team can do things. That defense, as long as they got Khalil Mack. But I think yesterday was the anniversary of that trade, wasn't it?
Was it?
Not mistaken. Yeah, it was like sometime around this week. The trade, yeah. So, but I like Khalil Mack, and I still think they got some things on offense. David Montgomery is a running back that I really, really do like. And I think Fields and him could do some damage. So I got Bears next up. Then give me Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, as long as he's healthy, is arguably the best running back in football. It's just a big question mark if he stays healthy. And there's been nothing to show me that he's going to be able to do that consistently. But Kirk Cousins is always going to put up numbers. I think people are, even if Kirk Cousins doesn't do the best job when it comes to playoff time, he still puts up a lot of yards. And Justin Jefferson, I think, gets better second year around. So I just want people to understand when I say I think Chicago's over Minnesota, of how highly that means I think of Chicago, because I don't think Minnesota's a bad team. And then I just think by default Detroit rounds out the division and
biting kneecaps, man.
It's so bad.
All right, Ryan, who you got?
Packers winning the division. I also have the Bears in second. I think they have enough weapons. I'm hopeful that Justin Fields is as good as he's looked. Andy Dalton he was the starting quarterback for a while. So they have enough pieces. But I waffle a lot on the middle teams. The Vikings, if healthy, are a better team on paper, but they always seem to fuck it up somewhere in the middle of the season. And man, if the fucking Lions get holiday games, I swear to God, they fucking just are the worst. It's like a wasted 4-hour slot. Like that. Luckily, I usually get to nap through it because I do like the early Thanksgiving.
You don't like DeAndre Swift?
Fuck that team, man. They're just a disappointment. Like, give me good teams. Anyway, the Lions are a dumpster fire. I hope they are biting kneecaps. At least we'll have something fun to watch when they're on the fucking field. That being said, I kind of hope that Aaron Rodgers gets all the way to like deep in the playoffs and then pulls an Aaron Rodgers and blows it. And then we can all blame him for the rest of his career.
Wow. All right. King?
I think Green Bay easily wins that division. And then I got coming in second, the Vikings. I agree with Ryan. You know, it's kind of tough when you're picking those middling teams. And I think the NFC North kind of mirrors almost the AFC West a little bit in terms of like, oh, they're like two teams that are like right there. Another team that's maybe not as good. But I think, yeah, Green Bay comes out and Minnesota comes out, makes the playoffs this year. Chicago third, Detroit fourth. I think Chicago, this is a building year for Chicago. They'll turn to Fields later in the season and then like let him finish off, maybe get a couple wins and then start off 2022 with Fields as the starter. And they'll go to the playoffs that year, I believe.
Yeah, they got the defensive weapons to do it, I think. So.
All right, let's move on to the NFC South. I have the Bucks going 13-4. And then I have the Saints, Falcons, and Panthers all going 6-11.
Mm-hmm. I think you are very close to the spot on.
Yeah. All right. The Bucks are just going to win the division. Like one of the easiest ones to pick. All right. K-Dot, who you got?
Which division is this? I'm checking.
NFC South.
Got the Bucks winning this thing. They will come in first place. I actually, as far as I really like this division. So I mean that might be something that other people don't necessarily see, but there are certain aspects of this division I actually think are fairly interesting.
Kyle Pitts.
Huh?
Kyle Pitts.
My favorite guy. So you know he's getting brought up at some point. But I don't necessarily think it's enough for them to be. I think people are sleeping on Jameis Winston. I think he's going to show out this year. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be world beaters or anything, but I do think that they're going to be there in the They're going to be around. They're going to win some games, and he's going to throw for a lot of fucking touchdowns.
They're going to win 6 of them.
Shut up. Look, I don't talk over you guys doing this shit. I've actually been trying really hard not to talk over people this goddamn episode, okay? Really trying hard. And then you assholes are just going to do this to me?
Go ahead, man.
James, I'm going to fucking poke the shit out of the bear in a second. You don't leave me the fuck alone.
Go ahead. Go ahead and pick.
God damn it. All right. You cocksucking son of a motherfucker. You know what? Fuck it. We're going Bucks win the division. I got Atlanta number 2, New Orleans number 3, and then the Panthers rounding it out. And I don't think they're 6-win teams like you. I do think that they're going to be teams that are actually vying for shit with another division that we'll talk about in a little bit.
Okay. Ryan?
Bucks win easily. And then all the other teams come in last. I don't believe in Jameis. I know he has an arm. He has matured as a quarterback. I just don't think he's very good. The Falcons have potential rookie of the year, and a quarterback in Matt Ryan that I, love and hate. It's still bitter about that Tech Boston College game from 15 years ago.
Never forget.
I was there. I'll never forget. But I don't. None of those teams strike me as good teams except for the Bucks, just based on the pieces that they have. I'm not saying they're gonna only get 6 wins. I think the Panthers might get significantly fewer, but just none of those teams I think are going to be fighting. And if it's any of them, it's going to be the Falcons, with a very depleted Falcons, just because Matty Ice drags them in. So,
all right, Kim.
Bucks win that division. 13 wins for the Bucks. And then nobody else comes out of the division as far as making the playoffs. Falcons, I think, finished second, actually. I think they're the most talented team in that division after the Bucks. And I think they finished like slightly above the Saints. And I think Jameis has a solid year. Maybe gets a decent deal and everything. But, I think the Panthers, finish with like maybe the worst record in the league.
All right. I had a little bit more hope for the Saints than it seems like some other people in this group, but I think the fact that they're not going to be playing at home for a while will affect them. So I add that in there.
I don't know. The Saints usually play well with adversity.
Yeah, the last time they won the Super Bowl was, well, they got Jameis.
Yeah, there's a difference. All right, so let's move on to the NFC East. I have the Washington football team winning the division at 10-7. I have the Cowboys at 9-8. I had the Giants at 8-9, and I have the Eagles at 5-12.
That's generous.
Here's like when you guys like think about it, like I tried to match up all the different games. So like some of the shit seems a little off, but that's because like one team has to win, one team has to lose. So to make everything even, this is what happened.
No, that makes sense. No, I like your shit. That shit is nice.
I think Fitzmagic is going to do his thing starting the year. Of course, like you know how it is. Like starts the year great, tails off, but they have a good defense, so I feel like that can cover it. Cowboys. I think Zeke is going to have a bounce back year. Dak Prescott's going to do well, but they always just set you up just to disappoint you later on. So this is going to be the same shit. Giants, they're going to be good until they get injured and have COVID. Like they always get injured. Saquon Barkley's going to get injured. I hope not.
Did not do anything with that offense.
You know, yeah. So the team's not that good to me. And then the Eagles, I want Jalen Hurts to do well. I just don't think it's going to happen. So, K-Dot, your go.
Washington wins the division.
Mm-hmm.
Best defense in the division, I think, by far.
Yep.
Arguably, I mean, we know it's a top 5 defense. I argue to say they're the best defense in the league. Outside of that, number 2, I'm actually going Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia has the biggest range of opportunity to do things in that division. A lot of it's going to depend, of course, on Jalen Hurts, but they have talent on that team. They've got some pieces on defense. I like the Ryan Kerrigan move to Philly. I think he reminds me of what they did with Chris Long. And it's one of those teams that you can kind of overlook. And if Jalen Hurts goes on a run, Miles Sanders in that backfield, the wide receiver core, Jalen Reagor, all those guys, like I think they can do some stuff. Dallas, I'm picking number 3, just being a disappointment. I think their offense could potentially be one of the best in the league. But I don't see CeeDee Lamb playing a full season. I still think he's too goddamn small. Amari Cooper loses concentration about halfway through the season, so he doesn't give a shit. And Zeke
halfway through the first game.
I think Zeke is I don't see Zeke ever replicating what he was. And that's mainly because I think that offensive line has only gotten older, and I don't think those holes are going to be as big as they were. And that defense is just fucking trash. I love the Micah Parsons pick. You guys knew that I wanted him in Washington. But I think if you've got one guy on defense that can do anything, and that's the only guy on defense, there's not much they're going to be able to do. And then, to me, the worst team in the division by far is the New York Giants. Daniel Jones, I know we on the pod have gone up and down on Daniel Jones. I don't think that offensive line has, before you were here, Keem. At first, it was the when he came out the rookie year and he started playing and he was looking better than anybody thought he could look. But I think Daniel Jones is just a perfect progression of what Eli Manning kind of was, which is just kind of like this guy who exists. He does some things and makes some flashes, but he always looks like he's just a three stooge making it happen. Like when he was running down the field and tripped over himself, the same way with Eli Manning in the Super Bowl throws. Nothing was supposed to happen that way. It just fucking kind of shapes up. It's just he's stumbling and like fucking Mr. Bean. He's like Mr. Bean of football. Just kind of
the Manningham throw though. That wasn't as lucky as the Tyree one. The Manningham was just pure.
The Tyree throw is just I cannot get that out of my head. The breaking out of the sack, just looking like he got his shirt stuck on like stuck in a door. Like he's just trying to get. It didn't make any sense. Like I didn't think Daniel Jones is just one of those just sloppy motherfuckers. Is just hey, it works sometimes. But I still think he's got a few more years, and they need a much better offensive line before he can work any of that magic like Eli used to.
Okay, Brian,
I got begrudgingly Washington winning the division. Potentially the best defense in football between them and Tampa, just on paper. And then It's tough. So the Eagles have the biggest upside, but also the biggest downside, right? So if they can't put it together and Jalen Hurts can't get it to work, they're going to be last. But if they can, they're easily in second. And shockingly, I have the Giants in third, Cowboys in last. Let me tell you why. I don't think, let's say Dak comes back off injury and Zeke has a bounce back year. They still give up 50 points a game. I don't know if you can recover from that. Especially if they give up 50 points to a Washington football team who's probably going to only give up 14, you're going to be in deep shit. And if Jalen Hurts and that Eagles team is rolling on offense, it's just so defense wins championships. And I don't see how that bad of a defense, even with potentially one of the most potent teams on offense, wins a whole lot of games. Because we saw them lose like 45-52, like a year and a half ago. So I think the Giants Cowboys are kind of like, depends who kind of gets it together a little bit. But this division is just bad.
All right.
And then Washington's defense is really good. What do you want me to say?
King?
I think this will be a knockout slugfest for 9-8 to win the division.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the Cowboys win it. I think people are overrating Washington's defense just a tad and under, like, I'll say valuing like the growth of the Cowboys defensive picks the last 2 or 3 years. Like that corner started to come on a little bit at the end of the season last year. And I think Micah Parsons, great pick for them. I think they'll be like an average. They'll be like ranked like 22nd, like when it comes to defense, and the offense will be like top
second,
10, top 8. Yeah, and that's how they get. And that's how they get into the playoffs to me. And I think they barely beat out either Washington or Philly. I'm not really sure who will be in that number 2 spot.
But here's the thing. You realize if their defense is like 26th and their offense is like 13th because someone gets hurt or like a guard goes down, they might win 2 games. That's their that's their danger, right?
Their floor is low as fuck, but their ceiling is higher than everybody else's in that division.
I think all right. We'll see.
We'll see is the correct approach for all these different divisions. All right. So the final one we're going to go through, the NFC West. To me, this is the most competitive division.
The best
because you can make competitive. You can make a case for any of the teams to win. But here's mine. So I have the Rams going 11-6. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Matthew Stafford, whatever. But then I have the Seahawks come in at 11-6. Same record, but the Rams get the tiebreaker. I have the 49ers going at 10-5.
I like this. Wait, 10-5?
Yeah, 10-5. No, 10-7. The fuck?
Oh, I was gonna say, they get
wrong. I wrote it wrong.
Cancel the games.
I wrote it wrong. I've been dealing with numbers all day. 10-7, and then I have the Cardinals at 9-8.
Do you have all 3 of those getting in the playoffs?
No, we'll get to it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll get to it. But I feel like the Rams defense is really just that good. The Seahawks, they'll let Russell cook a little bit and then realize they need to run the damn ball, and that'll end up being their downfall. The 49ers, I feel like they'll start with whatever his name. What's his name? Fuck the Niners.
Garoppolo.
Yeah, they'll start with Garoppolo. And then bench him for Trey Lance, maybe like by week 5. And then he'll go through the rookie pains. He'll win some games, but they'll only end up winning 10. And then I have the Cardinals. And then this will be the last year for Cliff Kingsbury, and he'll be out. All right, K-Dot, you go.
I like that. That man's surgical with that shit.
Cool. All right, let's go. See, this thing, I'm rethinking as I'm going through some of these, but plus work is blowing my phone up right now.
In my house.
I got the Rams winning the division, and I'm going to come back to some things with the Rams as we go through some other stuff later on. Number 2, I've got Seattle. Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, I think is only getting better. And I still have some issues as far as that defense in Seattle, but I think that Russell Wilson, just the power of him, I think he rebounds. He had some struggles in some stuff last year. I don't think we'll see a repeat of that. I think you get more into a groove. I think it's really dependent on if Chris Carson can fucking stay healthy, which has not necessarily been a thing for Seattle. But I mean, it's hard pressed for me to think Seattle's going to be a bad team, not with Russell Wilson behind center. I got the 49ers up next. I just think what Kyle Shanahan does getting from the quarterback position, they have a defense that does shit. I'm excited about a lot of the teams in the division. I think this is the best division in football. The Cardinals, I don't think they're a bad team. I think Kyler Murray continues to progress, but I think you're right about the Cliff Kingsbury thing. Is that I think everybody tried to jump on that trend, try to hire all these young guys, these quarterback gurus. And I think what they're overlooking is just the talent that some of these quarterbacks had, not necessarily the coaching they were having. And with Cliff Kingsbury, he's not Sean McVay. He's not Matt LaFleur. He's Cliff Kingsbury. And this is going to be a pusher. This is going to be a big time deal for them. But I think Arizona is the worst team in that division. And I think I'll talk about them a little bit later as well.
Okay. So we basically had the same.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's gonna get boring. Rams, Hawks, Niners, Cardinals. The only reason I have Niners under the Seahawks is because they will fuck up and start Jimmy G first instead of letting the rookie quarterback cook. The Seahawks defense can't get it done and Chris Carson can't stay healthy. They're in trouble. And again, the Cardinals could easily be first in that division, but for just poor coaching. I think Kyler Murray is one of the most talented quarterbacks in football, and they are not using him properly. I don't think they're scheming for him properly. Got a lot of issues with the Cardinals. But I think if you look at the Rams, how they're built, that's a scary fucking team this year. So I forgot how good they were until like 15 seconds ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They just don't have a future, but they're good.
No, and look, it's win now, right?
Yes, that's all they have.
This is their fucking win now season. Forever. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be playing Bishop Sycamore starters here in a couple years.
Yeah, that's the only people they can draft.
They ain't got no draft picks.
None. All right, Keem?
I just changed this in my mind listening to y'all because I actually had it like exactly how all y'all had it too. Mm-hmm. And so I'm gonna go Seahawks first.
Okay.
Rams 2, Niners 3, all 3 get in the playoffs for me. And 4 Cardinals, like barely missing whatever, 8 wins, something like that. To where it's a decent enough 7 to 8 wins, something decent enough season. But like I said, Cliff Kingsbury might have to go after this. And I think this is just to kind of get into what's coming next. The reason I picked Seattle is because I was trying to figure out who's going to win MVP in my mind. And I was like, based off of these records that I have in my head, Russell Wilson will make the most sense. He's been like the last few years, he's been like starting on fire, going crazy. And then everybody's like, oh, okay. Then he kind of tails off toward the end.
So how many games do you think they'll win?
Same, like 11 or 12, like 11. But I think it'll be one of those things where you look at the talent that he doesn't have and like he'll just go bananas, maybe win them some games late that they shouldn't win.
Okay. All right. So now that we have that settled, do you guys want to go into the playoffs or our season awards?
Playoffs?
I think we wrap up the playoffs since we all picked our first division.
Okay.
We're going to win the division. So, I guess our wild card teams.
All right. So I can go. I have everything 1 through 7 for each. So I'll go through the AFC first, then K-Dot, Ryan, and then Keem. And then we'll go through the NFC. So the AFC, the number 1 seed I have is the Chiefs. Number 2 is the Bills. Number 3 is the Ravens. 4 is the Titans, 5 is the Raiders, 6 is the Steelers, and 7 is the Dolphins. Now, this is strictly based on the records that I gave each team, right? So looking at that, those are who I have in the playoffs.
Okay. So you ranked them, or did you do the seeds?
I just did the seeds.
You did the seeds. So your top 4 are all the division winners, and then okay. All right, so I could do the same thing. I guess my number 1 seed, the AFC, will be the Chiefs.
Okay.
I'll have the. I'm gonna have the Browns. It's the number 2 seed. Number 3, I'm going Buffalo. 4, Titans, and then your wild card picks will just I'll just do them in order. Ravens, Patriots, Chargers.
Okay. Ryan?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it in my head. Yeah, okay. So yeah. All right. So Chiefs, Bills, Browns,
okay,
Titans, Ravens, Patriots, Chargers.
Okay.
All right. Browns.
Okay. Yeah, Chiefs. Browns is the number 1 seed.
Absolutely. Yes.
Wow.
Oh, okay. because of their division.
Look at their schedule.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier, even though we play like tough divisions. It's a little bit easier some of the games they get, and I just think they have that energy. Right now they're feeling themselves, and I think Baker has a great year.
Okay.
So yeah, that's just in it. I think their defense rebounds. They were like 13th last year. They'll be top 7 this year. And so yeah, Browns, Chiefs, Bills, Titans, Raiders, Ravens, Dolphins.
Okay. You guys are high on the Browns this year. I mean, guess like when you consider that you haven't really heard much coming out of like the Browns camp in terms of like all the hype that they usually get, maybe this is the year. But then you got, what was it, Jadeveon Clowney saying like, I love going against guards because they're unathletic. And then the next day he fucking trips over a damn dummy. So whatever.
They just have so much talent.
Wait, and somebody else tweeted him like, yeah, I love going up against defenders that have 1.5 sacks in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And that running back core.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, they have all the talent. It's the most talented team.
And it's kind of like this is a mental game too. So
yeah, and that's
they
why
haven't gotten over the mental hump.
And I think this is their year to do that.
And if they don't this year, then blow it up.
As much as I love Josh Allen and Justin Herbert, man, do I love me some Baker.
I love Baker.
All right, let's go on to the NFC. The number 1 seed I have is the Bucks. 2 is the Packers. 3 is the Rams. 4 is the Wift. 5 is the Seahawks. 6 is the Niners. And 7 is the Cowboys.
All right.
So go ahead, K-Dot.
Green Bay, number 1 seed. Number 2, Tampa Bay. 3, Rams. 4, Washington. Then we'll go Niners, Seahawks, Falcons.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts, baby.
I'm not too high on Kyle Pitts, but okay. Go ahead, Ryan.
All right. Trying to do this in my head again.
No worries. Keem, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, we'll just switch it. Go ahead, Keem.
All right. So Bucks number 1, Packers number 2, Seahawks number 3, Cowboys number 4, Rams number 5, Vikings number 6, 49ers number 7.
All right.
All right. I have
the Wift not in the playoffs. You don't got the Wift in the playoffs.
Oh no.
Damn. All right, go ahead, Ryan.
I got Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Rams, Wift. Shit.
Probably the Seahawks.
Yeah. Damn it. It's tough to do this when you don't plan out the games because I think a lot of these are going to be closer than I think they are.
I mean, I understand.
Niners, Bears?
Okay. And then who's 7?
Oh, I missed Seahawks. Sorry.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. So we did our playoff picks. I guess going into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we can do. Or let's do. Can we do pick? Can we do awards and then Super Bowl to end it?
Yeah, I mean, but then we got to do surprise team, disappointing, then awards.
That's fine. That's fine. Right, those are like superlatives.
So my surprise team.
Yeah,
my surprise team is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. Like, I have them in the playoffs. Nobody else has them in the fucking playoffs. Like, that's a surprise for everybody if they make it.
I had them in the playoffs too.
I know, but like, if you look at all the other pundits or whatever, they picked us last.
We're the only ones that matter. We're the only ones that matter. We're the pundits.
No, the only ones that matter is the people on the team. They need to play well. Like, I don't care about us. Like, they need to play well. All right, so I have them as surprise. The most disappointing team. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. Looking at the talent that they have on the team and the caliber of QB receivers, and they have some great defensive players, but they're just not going to get it done. And their coach is going to be gone for that. Like, I expect, like, highly, I expect them to do better than what they're going to do this year, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, I think that's been their MO.
Yep. So that's my surprising and disappointing. Go ahead, K-Dot.
Surprising the Atlanta Falcons, as I have them making the playoffs.
Okay.
And then as far as I'm going Raiders, I don't have them making the playoffs. And I think that I need the storyline to be that John Gruden's on a hot seat that he owns. So
I understand
he can't kick himself out of the hot seat because they're too well invested in him. But there should be some heat on that seat, and he's gonna skate on by.
So you like, okay, whatever. I'll let it go.
I know.
You don't have faith in them, but they're the most disappointing, so you expect more of them?
What?
I mean,
they're the most disappointing team in the NFL.
They're the most disappointing team in the NFL as far as what their record's going to be compared to the talent that they do have in that team. Carr, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, that alone should get you something. And the fact that they won't get anything.
All right, look at the Cardinals.
Would you stop defending your fucking team and go on to the next person?
No, I'm just saying, look at the Cardinals.
I'm not doing this. And look, in the case you got Mark Davis using fucking stolen goddamn tax money to build some fucking stupid fucking house museum bullshit outside of Las Vegas.
Stop talking over Ryan. Thank you. Go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead, Ryan.
All right.
Yeah, fuck your existence, bitch.
Surprising, disappointing. Surprising and disappointing team.
I think my surprise team has got to be, if they play as well as I think they are capable of, is going to be the Bears.
Okay. Good pick.
I think they have the pieces on offense, or at least enough, and they have some pretty good defensive pieces. I think they have a chance to really surprise in that division. And my team that I think is going to disappoint is going to be the Saints. I think that you just expect them to have elite quarterback play. You expect them in the playoffs perennially, and I don't think they're going to be able to get it done with the tools that they have. And I don't even have them making the playoffs this year. So I think, especially now, I realize the Hurricane just went through Louisiana again, and I could be 100% wrong, because that city bands together incredibly well. But I just think they're just not going to have the quarterback play that they need to succeed.
All right. So. King, before you go, K-Dot, I believe he means that, like, typically you have great quarterback play in New Orleans. Nobody's like with Drew Brees.
You're literally only thinking about Drew Brees.
I know, but like nobody's expecting this year.
Are we going back to Aaron Brooks? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I know. But Drew Brees has been there for a minute. That's why
the Deuce McAllister years. Like, what are we talking about?
The Joe Horn years.
Yeah, we know who
for the last decade.
Fine, yeah. But I'm just saying, historically, New Orleans. I'm like,
like recent history. Like, come on. All right, I know what you meant, but
Archie
like,
Manning?
As soon as you said it, like, I was like, the fuck?
I'm just saying, historically, we're talking about certain franchises. I'm like, eh?
Well, last 10 years.
Like the Drew Brees years, like this is the first year without Drew Brees.
Like I could say that about Green Bay because they went like 2 Hall of Famers back to back, right?
They would anticipate that a team of that caliber who doesn't have to worry about a quarterback would be able to pick up another good quarterback and groom him in the period that Drew Brees was there.
I just have to respond to something James said. You said Bart Starr. There's a 30-year period between Bart Starr and Brett Favre.
Look, listen, we're not going to talk about it.
Name one quarterback in that era.
I give you
$5 if you could. I know you can't.
Wait, when did Bart Starr fucking play? In the 30s? Like
the 60s. What? Okay. Dog, would you know your history? Who won the first Super Bowl?
The fucking Packers. Whatever.
Who was quarterback?
Right. Bart Starr.
Can you name another player on the team?
Go ahead, King.
Who was coaching?
Go ahead, King.
Steve.
Okay. Vince Lombardi, who you think is a Washington football team, like Hall of Famer. Go ahead,
He
King.
is. We killed him. He died for our team.
Go ahead, King. We were so close. We were so close.
Yeah, I can't anymore with you guys.
Sacrifice.
Most surprising team. It's a toss-up between. I'm gonna go a tie between Cleveland because I believe they'll surprise people by being the best team. Have probably like finishing with the best record in football this year. So that's like their most surprising thing. And I also think the Dolphins surprising and making the playoffs. So those are my 2 picks. I think the Dolphins got the best wide receiver in the draft. And I think they'll do work with him and Tua, who was actually better than people give him credit for last year. And I think most disappointing team is either Ravens or the Steelers. I think that should be like the NFC West, where you have 3 teams come out, and whoever doesn't come out, I'm thinking it's going to be the Steelers, but it could be us. I could see that path too. But whoever doesn't come out like as a 3rd team is the most disappointing.
The Browns. All right. So let's go into our season awards. So I'll go first.
Are we doing it one at a time? Or are we running through the whole list, or are we doing one at a time rap?
We can do one at a time.
MVP, go through.
We do one at a time.
Okay, got it.
All right, so my MVP is going to be Josh Allen. Yeah. This time, him and Stephon Diggs actually have an off season. And you saw what they did last year without one. So they're going to kill it. Go ahead, King. K-Dot.
Cole Beasley's actually going to kill someone.
Nah, he'll be sent home.
Here is where I get crazy. MVP for the league 2021 season. Matthew Stafford. I think Stafford with McVay in LA is going to be something to really is going to be incredible to watch. I think it's going to be something that is going to surprise a lot of people. Right now, I'm really, really high on the Rams, and I think what Stafford has not had in Detroit is really, really good scheming compared to what it is that I think McVay is going to be able to do. And the way that they've been talking and the way they've been doing things in training camp, the stories that I've heard, I'm high on it. And I know that it's an out there pick, but I'm sticking to it. Matt Stafford is somebody that I was really, really big on this offseason. You know that I wanted Washington really to go after him. I just think that, like a lot of Detroit stars, he was wasting away up there, and sometimes you just need freedom. Same thing with worked in the NBA too. All Blake needed to do was get the fuck out of Detroit, and he learned how to dunk again. So just get out of Detroit, and things get better.
What did you hear from the Rams in the offseason in training camp?
A lot of stuff as far as what McVay was holding back and what it is that Stafford was learning from McVay. It made Jared Goff look like some fucking kindergartner. We haven't had what McVay is saying, what the reporters are saying is that the relationship between McVay and Stafford looks like it's on that other level sort of thing. Like they understand each other in a way McVay hasn't had in a quarterback, and Stafford has been missing having a coach like that. I think that alone is something where Stafford's going to be coming for it. And if they've got a defense that gets turnovers, it gives them opportunities, which they will. That offense can be something special.
I think that the Rams are going to be good based mainly on the defense.
But I think defense sets up offense a lot of times. And I think that with that, if you can do that, you turn those into scoring opportunities, just pad your stats. And for that, it helps as far as an MVP race.
Yeah, and Cam Akers being out is going to hurt. But the practice that I saw wasn't that great, but we'll see as time goes on. All right, go ahead, Ryan.
Josh Allen.
All right, we're the same. All right, go ahead, Kim.
Russell Wilson.
All right. Yeah, you mentioned that before. All right, let's move on to offensive player of the year. I
I just threw $500 headphones. I'm really upset with myself.
I'm gonna go with Pat Mahomes. It's gonna have a crazy year.
For what? I'm sorry, I threw my headphones.
Offensive player of the year. Go ahead, K-Dot. I don't want to talk about the Chiefs too much. Go ahead.
Christian McCaffrey. I think that what he does even though I don't think I like the division, I still don't think Carolina's going to have a winning season. But with Carolina and what they use him for, he just passed those stats. And to me, if you're a quarterback to pass those stats, it usually means you're going to be MVP. So if I'm picking somebody who's not going to be MVP but offensive player of the year, I usually go away from the quarterback position. So I'm going Christian McCaffrey.
Okay. Ryan?
Well, not in our league because my fantasy name in our league is Cole Beasley's face mask penalty.
Yeah.
But in my other leagues, because I slotted into position number 1, my team names are Christian Mingle. Christian McCaffrey is gonna go fucking off this year if he can stay healthy. He is one of my favorite players to watch. He can catch the ball, he can run the ball. If he is healthy this year, that man wants to destroy people on a team that's really bad and doesn't have a whole lot of other options. So
that's a great name.
Did hear also unvaxxed, if I'm not mistaken, too. I'm still picking him.
Who, McCaffrey?
Yeah.
No, but that
who knows? Well,
that was a great name.
All things are possible through Christ. So, Christian.
All right, Keem.
You don't get to say that. Never mind.
I know. Russell Wilson. All right, fair enough. All right, let's move on to defensive player of the year. I have TJ Watt. Go ahead, Keem. K-Dot.
Why do you keep getting us confused? What the fuck's wrong with you?
You're both right.
I'm his favorite.
Yeah. I mean, they're talking about he's been seeing numbers all day. I thought he'd get better with numbers. He'd be seeing them all day, but he sucks with that, and he can't get our name correct.
Just numbers now. Wow.
No, I'm sorry. Earlier, you couldn't figure out
that's racist.
Yeah. Go ahead, K-Dot.
Oh, God, fucking Oakland education.
Go ahead.
The Chase Young.
Fair.
Not really.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I am also going to go with Chase Young, and I think it's because he's going to be the best defensive player on the best defense in the league.
A little help from his friends. Smart guy. He's about to say a Raven.
Montez Sweaty.
Myles Garrett.
Oh, really?
I think Montez Sweat could hurt Chase Young, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, you got to put 2 people on somebody.
Cough on him?
No. That's funny. Well, not funny, but
you can outrun him. That's
the
only
I'm
thing.
Saying like, never mind. All right. So let's move into offensive rookie of the year. I have Najee Harris from the Steelers.
Damn it. Me and K-Dot are going to have a lot in common. I can already see his face.
Go ahead.
You know it's coming.
Who do you have?
Kyle motherfucking Pitts.
Okay.
All right. And I'm
Justin Fields close second.
Damn you piece of shit. So I have Kyle Pitts, but that is because I don't think that Justin Fields is going to get into the game soon enough in the season. I think Kyle Pitts is going to have an instant impact on that offense. And I don't see Justin Fields coming in until week 3, 4, 6. I don't know. Whenever they probably after a bye week, if history serves.
That's about right.
But I mean, the kid Kyle Pitts is a freak. And on a team that doesn't have a whole lot of options right now. He's going to be a major option for them. And I think he's going to put up some ghastly numbers. And if I see Keem's face, it's going to be a Brown.
Dolphin.
So I'm going with co-offensive rookies of the year, Trevor Lawrence and Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
All right.
That's actually not a bad pick because I think T-Law, I think that team's going to suck, but I think he might throw some numbers.
I want so badly to be wrong about Trevor Lawrence. I really want to be wrong about Trevor.
He looked real good.
Sunshine is it, man.
I don't have faith in Urban Meyer and that Jacksonville team, man. I can't.
He looked real good.
I don't have faith in the team. I have faith in Trevor.
I think Trevor's the face of that team. So everything's going to crash and burn. Through no fault of Trevor, I feel bad for him.
If he comes out and breaks all Justin Herbert's records, it'll look real dumb.
All right. Defensive rookie of the year. I'm going with Micaiah Parsons.
Oof.
Go ahead. Kadeem.
Jamin Davis. Jamin Davis.
Okay. All right.
So I put this down on my list and now I can't find it. So come back to me.
Go ahead, Keem.
I'm going to go with Micah Parsons. Because I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. Okay.
I think it's Mike. Did I say Micaiah?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you did.
I'm drunk. I'm sorry. Micah.
Oh, it's cool.
My bad, bro.
Mikhail Parsons.
I don't watch Hard Knocks, so I haven't seen it. So
and I think like
Parsons. There we go.
My dark horse for that is J.C. Horn. But go ahead.
Fair enough.
All right, and for the same reason that Chase Young, it's going to be the best defense in the league, in my opinion. Jamin Davis.
Thank you. Okay.
And you get to pad your stats when you're on the best defense in the league. So
I think our linebackers are weak. He's getting a lot of tackles. That's my philosophy. Our linebackers are weak spot.
Do you see how many linebackers got cut?
We're going to the season with 4 linebackers. So I know that we're not going to be what it is permanently, but there's going to be some moves. But I just think he's the fastest guy in that second level. So he's going to be able to make a lot of tackles on that defense. And if they open up lanes for him, he gets tackles for losses, but only helps.
All right.
I mean, teams play more nickel than anything, though. You don't need that many linebackers. But go ahead.
Comeback player of the year.
Defense,
I'm going with Von Miller.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good.
I forgot. Who's my
Dak Prescott.
Okay.
That's my comeback player of the year.
Yeah, I don't think the Cowboys are going to be that good. I also have Von Miller.
Actually, that is not my comeback player of the year.
All right. Go ahead, Keem. Who's your comeback player of the year?
Derwin James.
Fair enough.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
I just don't have that much faith in the Chargers D coordinator, the new kid from the Rams.
That's fair.
Yeah, like I hate when teams do that shit. It's the same thing with Cliff Kingsbury. So it is what it is to me. All right, coach of the year. Since I have the fucking Raiders making the playoffs, I'm going with John Gruden. Surprise. Either he's going to be the coach of the year, he's going to be fired. One or the other. So,
they can't fire him. They owe him too much money.
No, they can fire him.
Wait, all of his money's tied up in the new house.
No, it's not. Like, that's not Mark Davis's house. They're not butt buddies. Jesus Christ. All right, go ahead. K-Dot, pick one.
It might be. Kevin Stefanski, coach of the Cleveland Browns.
God damn it.
Is coach of the year.
We have way too many similarities, K-Dot.
But I've gone first.
Yeah, I know, you piece of shit.
That's a bad thing.
I also have Stefanski. I think they're going to have a phenomenal season. And, I mean, you got to give Cleveland something every now and then. So,
no, you don't. All right. Go ahead, Kim.
Retweet.
Oh, shit. All right, fine. All right.
Whatever that sound is.
Let's go to our Super Bowl picks. Let's go to our Super Bowl picks. I actually bet on the Raiders. So outside of them, I'm going to say it's going to be the Bills and Packers. If not us, the Bills. I really think this is going to be Josh Allen's year. They're putting shit together. This will be the Bills' year if they trade or cut Cole Beasley. That fucker will derail the whole year. I'm telling you now. If he puts out one more rap album, your team is going 0-17.
Support your local white rapper.
Huh?
Why the fuck you remind me that happened?
There's a bad move. I should have sent you guys the freestyle that he did on the radio.
Sent us
it was a freestyle, but he was reading it off his phone. But whatever. All right.
Freestyles anymore.
Every freestyle is written now.
I mean, it's always kind of been that way to a certain degree, except for certain guys.
Yeah, like some of the actual freestyles aren't.
Greatest freestyle of all time. Tyler the Creator with Funkmaster Flex. I'm
gonna go corrupt.
Super Bowl pick. Rematch.
Okay.
Chiefs Bucks. This time, Chiefs pull it out.
Wow.
I feel like you guys have the same thing then.
I literally I've said this for like months now. Okay. Yes.
I think it's
I will add that I had 2 Super Bowl matchups in mind. It was either that, but that's my favorite. That's what I definitely think is going to happen. I think it's rematch, Chiefs win. And I think it's the Super Bowl that we wanted to see this year. I think it's actually exciting instead of trash.
I thought it was
And so, yes, that's how I know we've talked about this before. And because, yes, we did talk about this, and because you said that last time. But anyway, the other matchup that I had in my head was it would be a rematch of a Week 18 game, which is Ravens-Rams. And I was like, we were going to lose to the Rams in my head. But there you go.
All right. Ryan?
In my heart of hearts, I want it to be the Bills in the Super Bowl. But if I'm going based off what I think's going to happen, it's going to be Chiefs and Bucks. Chiefs win.
Okay. Chiefs are beatable, man.
I said it first. All these guys are copying me.
They are beatable, but here's the thing. Where other teams may get nervous running down the stretch into the playoffs or in the playoffs, the Chiefs have been there. They're good.
Yeah. Who did y'all lose to last year in the playoffs?
The Chiefs.
All right. You guys learn from it.
Well, they should have won that game, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
You mean like when, the muff punt, and then we just have the ball like most of the game. Yeah, I know.
The final thing that we got for tonight is a preview of our ASOS Fantasy Football League. James Weeks, you had a chance, man. You were supposed to be in this league, but you didn't comment. You usually do. Usually the first one. But
called it.
Yeah, you did. Which is funny. I was like, no, he's gonna comment. And I'm
good job, James. You took a back seat because I told you to.
I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever. All right.
I think James just likes me. So the fact that he
you talking about James
heard me
said James, bro. Like I'm James.
I ain't talking about you, nigga. You don't like me.
Say James Ferguson.
You should call him JW or some shit.
JW?
Yeah.
I like that James more than this James. So he's James, he's Fergie.
Do you? See.
Wrap us up, Fergie.
Okay.
James, he's just upset because I'm your favorite.
Look at this.
I think it's upsetting.
I don't think you realize how happy it makes me that I'm not his favorite.
I like you all the same. I like you all the same.
I don't want to hear that.
So, but it's the truth.
That hurts me.
It's the truth. If y'all need me, I'm there.
Yeah, that is true.
So,
there's an order to my liking, but go ahead.
All right.
We should rank each other. Unequal opinions episode.
No. The fuck? No. All right. So going.
I gotta get back to work.
All right. You fuckers need
Ryan's last.
Pay me before the fucking draft. And then whoever wins, I think is like 600 or whatever, or like 400.
All right.
Whatever the amount is. And then if y'all want to do side bets, just let it be known in the group and y'all deal with it however you want to deal with it.
I said King's a bitch, she's coming in last.
I'm gonna kill y'all.
You got
the fuck out of y'all in some fantasy football.
We have 10 teams currently. If you guys want two more, just tell me who it is.
All right, now I'm good with 10 teams.
No, I like 12. Options. I'll find you two more.
I got my dark horse.
Well, look, whoever the two is, make sure they have them pay me first. I sent the link in the chat. So,
are you trying to have us pay through Yahoo?
No, just Cash App or fucking Venmo. I sent the link in the chat.
Did you send it like 7 a.m.? Do you know what I'm doing at 7 a.m.?
I sent it like 5 minutes
ago. Taking
this
shit.
Yeah, actually, usually.
I sent it like 5 minutes ago. So it's there. You all have it.
I don't believe it.
Okay. I sent it right before we started the pod.
I think he did. I think let's end this.
All right, I gotta go back to work. Love you all.
Me too, actually.
Get up.
All right, this is good.
Do your thing.
If you didn't know, now you know. Because I told you.
Raising the playoffs. Woo!
That's not gonna happen.
Black Power.
I like that one. Black Power.